What can I get you? Perhaps you are interested in buying something from me?
Hey you, over here, pick me, I'm on discount.
Welcome back to another Inside Knowledge Drop. Today is all about co-op, since you had some questions on how we approach that. And for this special occasion, I secured an absolute expert to explain everything there is to know.
Surprise! It's me again, but calling me an expert might be a tiny bit of an overstatement. But since I'm literally your guy in the chair, I know what you've been asking out there, and I'm here to fill you in on all the juicy details. Atlas Fallen is mainly designed as a single-player game that offers an optional co-op mode. And that means that if you're a single-player gamer looking for a fully fledged experience, that is what Atlas Fallen will offer you. You're not feeling like you're missing out because it was designed with co-op like as the main focus, but it's a fully fledged single-player experience with an optional co-op. We wanted to make sure that you can always bring a friend if you want to, so co-op is seamlessly done with an invite system and there's no progression check, so...
Hi, Christian from the tech department here. I've worked on a few co-op related things and I feel like I need to correct our self-proclaimed expert a bit. We actually do some kind of progression check, more on that later in the video, but the important thing is that you can always play together, even if there's a big progression gap.
If you've beaten half the game and your buddy has just started, you can still play together. And since we wanted the focus of the fights to stay in the game and not branch out to you and your co-op buddy, we decided to go for shared loot, which means there's no trying to get to pick up loot faster to beat your buddy to it. It's just shared loot for both players. And one thing I find very neat is that you can play almost the full game in co-op. There's a quick introduction sequence that's about 10 minutes, but then the full game becomes available to be played from start to finish in co-op. I know you people out there are mainly interested what co-op brings to the gameplay, so let's talk about that. First up, there's exploration, of course. Exploration is always more fun when you bring a partner to surf the dunes or to unearth chests from the sand. But what the co-op offers is that you can freely roam these big areas, these big levels, without having to stick to your partner. You can be on one side of the map fighting an enemy, and your partner can be on the other side interacting with an NPC to get a quest. And there are gameplay elements in exploration that benefit from having a co-op partner. There are these puzzles where you have to raise elements from the ground and they shoot a ray to the next raisable element. And with a partner, one could raise it, one could get in position to anticipate where the next element is, and so you can intertwine your gameplay and work together. And working together becomes an essential part for co-op in fighting, because the Essence Stones abilities you have also offer abilities that have more use in combat. For example, there are bigger auras, like healing auras or auras that help you to generate momentum that you can throw on the ground, and your co-op partner will benefit from it. And when it comes to loadout, that means you could specialize. One could go for a specific build that focuses on healing, right? Or on damage reduction, while the other goes full glass cannon, just damage stones, and tries to beat the enemies quickly. So there are some neat synergies in co-op builds to be found with the Essence Stones, especially since there are over 150 of them. And hopefully we checked all the possible combinations to ensure that the builds are not so broken, but I'm putting my hope in you that you will find stuff that just breaks the game entirely. I know that progression is a big topic for everyone, and since I already stated that co-op is seamless, I want to get a bit technical and explain how we handle progression for each player. The biggest message to take away is, when you're hosting a session, you always keep all the progress. And looking at progress specifically, we distinguish between world and character progress. World being the statues you destroyed or the quests you handled, and character progress is everything related to the character stats themselves, as for example Essence Stones you picked up. So as stated, host always keeps everything, so we're just looking at guest progression now. Let's assume host and guest are on an equal progression level. That means that the guest keeps both the world and the character progress.
Hi, it's me again. I'd like to clarify that Phil is talking about a choice here. The guest can still choose to only keep character progression while leaving their single-player world untouched, in this case.
If the guest is more progressed, he keeps everything that's related to his character, all the Essence Stones he collects, they are his, but all the work progress he does together with his co-op partner is not saved to his save state. And for the last example, if the guest is less progressed, for example, you just started the game and a buddy is hosting a session who's almost at the end, when you join, you get a warning that he's more progressed because you will not save character or world progress. Therefore, like, not overwriting or destroying your character because, yeah, you just started the game right and you want to have a full experience. Co-op offers different balancing than single player. Since they're like two people moving around, one is taking focus from the monster, that also like opens up attack windows for the other person. So we needed to make sure that it doesn't get too easy. That means monsters will be more aggressive and tougher in co-op. But fear not, we have a cool feature that's coming with the co-op. It's also coming with the single player because we have different difficulty levels. One is able to adjust while just playing. It's as easy as going to the main menu.
Oh Phil, that's the in-game menu, not the main menu. Don't make it sound like players would need to leave the session or something.
And just selecting a different difficulty level. And why is that cool? Because the difficulty is client-sided.
Well, what you just heard was a masterclass on how to trigger a network programmer by misusing the term client. What he actually meant to say is that difficulty applies individually for each player, no matter if they are host or client.
So let's say you both start a co-op session on medium difficulty, and one of you says, this is too easy for me, and the other is just getting smashed, right? Then both players, without like recreating the session, just in session, could go to their difficulty menu. One could go to easy, one could go to hard, and this in like a matter of 2 seconds. And that's what makes co-op really cool for me, because it's unique. It doesn't draw away from the single player experience. There's no real setup besides like throwing out an invite seamlessly via one of the platforms. You jump into a session, you can adjust the difficulty on the side. Maybe you want to like change your Essence Stone loadout to create some synergies with your partner, but besides that, you just dive right into the action and serve the dunes of Atlas with a partner.
And that's it for today. If you want to know anything more about co-op, feel free to ask in the comments down below. We see each other in a few weeks and then we tackle the topics combat, weapons and essence stones. And if you want to know anything about that as well, you can just ask in the comments now. Thank you very much for tuning in. We see each other in a few weeks. Take care. Bye bye.